Yo, what up, y'all? We got a lot to cover in the boxing world. Man. I'm gonna wait for y'all to get on live so we could discuss these fights that took place yesterday. We had two great heavyweight fights yesterday. We had in the afternoon in Poland, we had Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Now, I had talked about that fight on two of my videos, and I let people know that it was going to be a barn burner. And I had given my prediction. Y'all can go back and look in the videos. I said that Alexander Usyk was going to beat. I said that Alexander Usyk was going to beat Daniel Dubois. I said that he was too fast. His hands were too fast. I said that his foot movement was too good for Dubois, and that Dubois would have to catch him, but I don't think that he'll catch him, and that he would run circles around him. That was my prediction from the start. A lot of people were telling me that they think Daniel Dubois was going to win the fight, that he could catch Alexander Usyk with his power, and I was going back and forth with one of my best friends. He said Daniel Dubois can really punch, man. He's got some pop, and that if he catches Alexander Usyk could be in deep trouble. And I want to know, once I get more audience, once I get more people to join, I want to know what y'all opinion is on the low blow yesterday between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Did y'all think that was a low blow? Did y'all think that was a fair shot? Was it a low blow? Was it fair? Was it legal or not legal? I thought it was not. I thought it was a legal shot. I thought they should have let it ride, but they didn't, man. Clearly, maybe there's an agenda out there. I don't know, but Usyk was winning the fight, dominated most of the fight anyway. So we got a lot to cover in the boxing world, man. It's just insane to me how. Well, I saw a lot of people on Twitter and social media complaining about the Daniel Dubois loss and saying that he should get an immediate rematch, and that they're trying to set up the Fury and Usyk fight so that they cheated Dubois. I mean, I think at the very least, give Dubois a rematch. See how it goes. I'm not objected to seeing Daniel Dubois fight Alexander Usyk in a rematch in Poland. Shoot, even Usyk come to Great Britain to fight him. I think that would be him proving a lot. Like, I'm willing to come fight you in your country. That way y'all can't make no excuses this time. No home crowd call. Because a lot of people were saying that the low blow was called because the fight was in Poland. So it was basically a home fight for Usyk. So they're saying that the ref was influenced to call that because obviously Usyk and the crowd and everything, him being the home fighter, was a big influence on that. Me personally, I think that too many excuses are being made in this fight, because my thing is, going into round 9, I had Daniel Dubois winning 2 rounds. I had it 6 rounds to 2. I had Usyk dominating. I gave Dubois 2 rounds. I thought he had moments in that fight. He definitely caught Usyk a couple times. Man, a lot of people told me about Daniel Dubois' power, and like I had seen highlights against Kevin Lorena, and like I knew he had power. I knew he had power, trust me. But like I just didn't know how powerful he was. Daniel Dubois got to be one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in the division. Him and Wilder are like up there, like for real. Like Wilder is #1, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dubois is like 2 or 3 in the heavyweight division in power. He's got some power on that right hand. But man, is Daniel Dubois limited besides that power? Like his footwork is very mild to me. Like he has very mediocre footwork to me. Daniel Dubois got to work on his footwork, man. His footwork was not it to me. He doesn't really establish his jab too often. He's too slow. His moves are too anticipated. Like I feel like Usyk already knew what he was gonna do, because like he like moves his shoulder he moves his shoulder when he's getting ready to throw his punch. So it's like it's kind of like obvious when he's getting ready to throw. And I feel like Usyk just saw it coming. Kods Khan from the UK. What's up, Kods Khan? How you doing? Nice to see you on my channel. What did you think of the Daniel Dubois versus Alexander Usyk fight last night? A lot of people were saying that Daniel Dubois was cheated last night. Now, I don't think that it was a low blow. I think that Daniel Dubois landed a beautiful body shot, and they should have called it a knockdown. That being said, Usyk was dominating the fight. I had it 6 rounds to 2 going into the knockdown, and you know what I'm saying. So I mean, I just don't feel like Dubois wasn't winning the fight. So to say that he got cheated, I mean, the only argument that we have on the him getting cheated would be the low blow. So that's why that's the topic of discussion right now. Do y'all think the low blow was illegal? Do y'all think that they should run it back, have a rematch? And like what's y'all honest opinion on what happened last night? My personal opinion, Usyk should fight Fury. I mean, they're clearly trying to set up the Usyk versus Fury fight. So they didn't want Daniel Dubois to win last night. He was the B side, and you know what I'm saying. Like, but what we have to remember is, if it would have went to the scorecards, right, Dubois would have lost, no question about it. Um, had it went 12, Dubois probably would have won 2, 3 rounds. Like, that's the honest truth of it. The only thing that we could say is Dubois caught him with a body shot, and it was a 50-50 call. They called it a low blow. Had they not called it a low blow, it would have been a knockout scored for Daniel Dubois. There would have been a rematch clause activated, and I think Usyk would have still outboxed Dubois. Dubois' only chance to beat Usyk is to catch him and knock him out every time, because if they fight 10 times, Usyk would beat him all 10 times on the scorecards. Like, he's just too good of a boxer, too quick. His footwork's too good. So Dubois would just have to catch him. And, I mean, he did. And it's unfortunate that, they took the knockdown away from him. But what's going to go forward with that? Are they going to get a rematch? I don't know. I wouldn't predict so, but you never know in boxing. You never know. They may give that boy Daniel Dubois a rematch. Um, you know, does he deserve one? I don't know. You could make it a 50-50 argument. You could say, yeah, he deserves one because he knocked Usyk on his ass. And had they called that a legal shot, Usyk would have not made the 10 count and he would have won the fight. Or you could say, no, Daniel Dubois doesn't deserve a rematch. He lost 6 rounds out of 8 going into when he got stopped, and Usyk dominated that fight. It doesn't deserve a rematch. I can see both arguments. I think we should see a rematch because I just don't know where Fury's mind is right now. I don't know if Fury's really trying to get in the ring with Usyk next. So if he's not, we might as well see Daniel Dubois versus Alexander Usyk in a rematch, because I don't think after seeing Jared Usyk or a Joshua or a Wilder just yet, we're going to get into the Jared. But I still want to cover this Usyk versus Daniel. Now, Daniel Dubois, man, I didn't know he was so slow. Like, y'all type it up in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think of Daniel Dubois, man. I mean, got a lot of pop in his power, but man, he ain't got no speed. Like, I like heavyweights with some speed. Usyk, Jared Anderson. I like heavyweights with speed. Even Tyson Fury got speed. I used to be a Fury fan. I'm not a Fury fan anymore for fighting Francis Ngannou. But yeah, y'all, I'm very shocked, to say the least, that, you know, that a lot of people are out here saying that, Daniel Dubois was robbed. Like, they're saying Daniel Dubois was cheated, and that he should be the heavyweight champion of the world right now. I think that's a bit of a stretch to say that Usyk should not be the champion right now. He was winning the fight. He knocked Daniel Dubois down, if I'm not mistaken. Knocked him down at least twice. Maybe knocked him down 3 times. I think he knocked him down twice. So, like, besides body shot, and that's a shot, and that punch we're gonna talk about for the next month, probably for the next 2 weeks. Was that shot legal? And I keep looking at the replay. And the only way to really test it out is to look at other low blows in boxing history and compare and contrast. And so that's what I did. So I compared and contrast One of the low blows that came to my mind was when Mayweather got low blowed by Zab Judah. Now, when Mayweather got low blowed by Zab Judah, that was a blatant and an obvious low blow. No question about it. When you look at Usyk and Dubois, it's very 50-50. Dubois hit Usyk right around this area. Trust me, if you get hit in this area, it's going to feel like a low blow. Like from the pain standpoint, like getting hit right here, it almost feel connected. But this, to me, in my opinion, is not a low blow. Now, had he got hit low, Zab hit, you feel me? But when he got hit right here. So to me, it was not a low blow. But, you know, boxing is very political, y'all. Y'all know how it is, man. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. And then we got to talk about that Jared Anderson versus Andriy Rudenko fight last night. Andriy Rudenko versus Jared Anderson. I knew Jared Anderson was going to stop Andriy Rudenko. Now, Andriy Rudenko had only been stopped one time going into the fight. He had only been stopped one time going into the fight. So I knew that Andriy Rudenko was battle-tested. I knew he had a good chin. I knew that Jared Anderson might have to work to get the knockout. But I knew, like, if Jared Anderson was who we thought he was, he should get this guy out before 6 rounds. And he did. He got him out in 5 rounds. He really dominated the fight. I wasn't really too impressed because Andriy Rudenko, 39 years old, tough fighter, not that skilled, very slow, comes forward, very easy to hit. Tailor-made for Jared Anderson last night. It was a tailor-made fight for Jared Anderson. And I thought, you know, Jared Anderson did well. You know, he stopped the guy like he was supposed to do, dominated, and showed flashes of greatness. What I like about Jared Anderson is I like his speed at the heavyweight division. I think this man knows his angles very well. Like, I even tell people all the time, like, Jared Anderson, to be a heavyweight, he moves like a super middleweight, light heavyweight. Like, he's really elusive. He's really fast and athletic. And I think Jared Anderson, I mean, I don't think he's quite ready for the elite guys yet. But, man, his potential is through the roof. I think his potential is actually greater than Daniel Dubois. When you talk about speed, he might not have the exact immediate power like Dubois, but he's got speed, angles. I think he's got a little bit better footwork than Dubois. I think he's going to be better than Dubois in the long run, Jared Anderson. A lot of people were saying that Jared Anderson should fight Daniel Dubois next. I don't think he should fight Daniel Dubois next. That's a big step up for Jared Anderson. But I'm telling y'all, in about a year, he will be better than Daniel Dubois. No question about it. Daniel Dubois is a good fighter. I just don't think that he'll be better than Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is a special talent. That being said, I'm curious to see who Jared Anderson's going to fight next. You know, is he going to fight Derek Chisora next? He's not ready for the big names. So all y'all that think Jared Anderson's going to go up and fight Tyson Fury, or he's going to go fight Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, let's slow our rolls. Jared Anderson's not quite ready for them guys just yet. He will be, though. Don't trust me, he will be. He's just not ready yet. I think a guy like Derek Chisora or a Lucas Brown would be a very good opponent. Lucas Brown might be a little too easy for Jared Anderson next. I think that Derek Chisora, tough journeyman, been in the ring with everybody, went 10 rounds with Tyson Fury 2 fights ago. I feel like that would be a perfect test for Jared Anderson, a guy who's battle-tested, a guy who's been in the ring with some of the greats. I want to see how Jared Anderson would look in a ring with a guy who's been in a ring with elite guys and been in that stage before. You know, we saw it with Martin. Martin's been on that stage. Anderson looked, it was his toughest fight. It was his ugliest fight to date. And so we got to see another fight like a Martin, another step up like a Martin. And I think Chisora, who's not as good as Martin, but just as battle-tested as Martin, is that's a great step up for Jared Anderson. I don't know, it's not official, it's just a fantasy fight, but I think that's a good fight for the future. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are hating on Jared Anderson. and saying he not ready. I don't see what people see when they say he's just not ready. Like, do y'all see the heavyweight division? The heavyweight division is really weak right now. So for y'all to say that Jared Anderson is not ready for some of those elite names, I mean, or he's not, like, to me, Jared Anderson is a top 10 heavyweight right now. You have to say he's a top 10 heavyweight right now, easily. He might be in the top 8. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say Andy Ruiz is better. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think that would be a horrible matchup for Andy Ruiz. Um, we just going off resumes and stuff like that. But I think Jared Anderson he's climbing that ladder, man. He's coming quick. You know what I'm saying? And Jared Anderson is going to be a problem in that heavyweight division in the next year or so. Mark my words, man. Mark my words. You can't always have the prettiest performances at the end of the day. You can't always have the prettiest performance at the end of the day. Whose performance was more impressive to y'all yesterday? Was it Alexander Usyk or was it Jared Anderson? Whose heavyweight performance was more impressive to y'all's last night? And I'm going to get into some of the undercards. I'm going to talk about Abdullah Mason. I'm going to talk about Bruce Carrington. Two of my favorite prospects in the game, on top rank. They fought on the undercard of the Jared Anderson fight. Abdullah Mason, I think he's a great young kid. He's a great young prospect. He took care of business yesterday. I've been telling people about Abdullah Mason for a long time. They're gonna move him up pretty quick. I think he's only 19, 20 years old. So Abdullah Mason is a great fighter. Bruce Carrington looked very sharp last night. I was very proud of Bruce's performance. I really like Bruce. I've seen Bruce Carrington fight twice live now, and I think he's gonna be a true problem at 126. You know, talk about Bruce Carrington. And it was a fun card of prospects yesterday on the Jared Anderson card. You know, good to see the young prospects in action, and they've been getting those guys active. They've been fighting like every 3 months. I've been seeing those guys fight. I think Jared Anderson's probably going to fight again in November. That's why we're talking about his future fight. But yeah, man, I think Jared Anderson needs to go against. He needs to go against someone that's gonna push him. I'm tired of seeing Jared Anderson dominate these bums. Not calling Rudenko a bum, but Rudenko, on the bad side of 30, 39 years old, never really had too much power as a heavyweight. It was just too, and he comes forward, it was too easy. We need somebody who's going to come with angles like Chisora. Chisora is going to give Jared Anderson a problem. That's why I want to see Jared Anderson fight Derek Chisora next. I think that would be a very good fight for Jared Anderson, a very good test for Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to see Jared Anderson make a step up quick. I'm tired of seeing him fight guys like, what was that other guy? He fought some Dominican guy not too long ago. I think 2 fights ago. I forget what his name was. Short heavyweight, stocky guy. He wasn't that good. So Jared Anderson, he has to fight tougher guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it has to start now. I mean, he's young. I think he's 23 years old, so he has a lot of time to to fight these guys, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to like actually rush into those fights, but you would like to see these fights and these step-ups happen soon. We saw it with Charles Martin. All right, now we don't want to see no backtracks. You know what I'm saying? Now we got the Rudenko fight. Now, next, I think Chisora would be a good opponent. At least keep it around the same level. You know what I'm saying? And then from Chisora, then we could see what he'd do next. Maybe he could fight a world level. If he could beat Chisora, then I think he's ready for that next step up. If he could beat a guy like Chisora, which I think he would. But I want to see how good he'll look doing it. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to dominate Chisora? Or is Chisora going to give him issues? You know what I'm saying? Those are things we have to get into. So, Jared Anderson, definitely one of my top heavyweights, man. I really don't want to go back into the Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk topic because, to me, that topic is too 50-50. Like I said, Usyk dominated that fight. And the only argument you have for Dubois is, was that body shot legal? I thought it was, but it is what it is. So we have to move on. The topic of the day that I want to talk about, um, that they just announced, that's going to be a doozy. You know what I'm saying? I was telling people for a long time that we was going to get Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin. You know, Shakur was hinting it out about his next opponent. And, you know, Shakur want all the smoke. He been looking for all the smoke. And everybody know that. It's no secret. And, well, it looks like my boy going to get what he want. And he finna get the ghost Frank Martin. Like, it don't get no tougher than fighting the ghost Frank Martin. Um, Frank Martin is a hungry fighter. 2 fights ago against Michael Rivera, he dominated. And Michael Rivera was a good undefeated young fighter, and he just dominated Michael Rivera, made him look average, made Frank look amazing, and people thought Frank was that next boy. And then his last fight, he fought this Russian guy who was tough as nails, and it made Frank not look his best, but Frank still came through and won. And I was impressed with the way Frank dug it out, but you definitely saw some flaws in his game a little bit. I saw some flaws in his game. Shakur, I have not seen any flaws in Shakur's game. The only flaw that y'all could really say is y'all quote unquote say that he lacks power, but I don't even think he lacked power. I think he just don't aim for the knockout. I think he enjoys to box. So we can't even say that Shakur Stevenson doesn't have power. Just got to say that Shakur, you know, he just preferred to box, and he scopes out his opponents. But Frank Martin versus Shakur Stevenson is going to be one of those fights that we're going to talk about for the next 10 years. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin is is one of those fights that, you know, on paper, you think about it, and like me, I'm a Shakur fan to the death, and like I think Shakur is better than Frank, and I think he is gonna win that fight. I'm gonna break it down in a second, but like you can't even, like, on the naked eye, you can't even be mad if someone says, I think Frank has a legitimate chance to win. You know, Frank is a slick fighter. He's got power. He's got pop. He's got speed. He knows his angles very well. He's a smart fighter. Like, Frank Martin is a young, great fighter. Like, he's not Pitbull Cruz. He's not a lucky fighter. He's not a George Kambosos. Frank Martin, the Ghost, is actually a great fighter. So if you were to pick Frank Martin to win this fight over Shakur Stevenson, I couldn't even be mad at you. Um, you know what I'm saying? But this fight is gonna be talked about till it actually goes down. I can't wait. I can't believe Shakur is actually making this happen. This just goes along what I said about how hungry he is and how great of a fighter he actually is. Um, I think that Shakur Stevenson um, is gonna beat Frank Martin, and I've told people, I just think Shakur's hunger is at a different magnitude right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frank is really hungry, and Frank has nothing to lose right now. He's a young fighter, and I think even if he loses, he could be back. But I just think this is Shakur's time right now, and I think Shakur knows this is his biggest moment ever, and like being around Bud Crawford and just knowing how much he wants this moment, I think nothing can stop Shakur Stevenson, not Frank Martin, you know, nobody. So I just think Frank is in Shakur's way, and I think it's a fight that needs to happen because you got two hungry young fighters that don't particularly, you know, they jaw at each other, or at least Frank jaws at, you know, for Frank to fight Shakur, it says a lot. Like, I'm gonna fight your big brother. Like, it's like that say a lot about Frank. You know, you got to look at it from those angles too. Like, so it's one of those. It's gonna be an interesting one. I'm very excited for Frank versus Shakur Stevenson. Um, y'all in the comment section, y'all could tell me who y'all think gonna win that fight, because honestly, I would say it's about a 60-40, 70-30 going towards Shakur. But you know, you gotta respect Shakur. You gotta give him that. My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. y'all got to give him that, at least that 30% love, because y'all know Frank Martin is a legitimate fighter, and Frank he got a shot. You know what I'm saying? He got a shot. Shakur too much though, and I think all my Shakur fans know that Shakur gonna make an example out of Frank. Like, this example is gonna be a message to all the lightweights out there: Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, and it's gonna be a serious message that, one, that Shakur is hungry. He's willing to take these low risk, these high risk, low reward fights, because a lot of casuals don't even know Frank Martin. Is he gonna get a lot of credit for beating Frank Martin after he beats Frank Martin? That's something remains to be seen. But I tell you, Gervonta Davis, they talking about him fighting a rematch with Pitbull Cruz. What y'all think about that? I think that's a weak move, man. I think I think that Gervonta Davis, we didn't seen you beat. No offense, I love Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? We didn't seen you beat 4 or 5 top Mexican fighters in your weight class. How many more do you have to beat before we didn't? Okay, we believe you. It's time for you to show us something different. That's what I believe on Gervonta Davis. I want to see him fight a different style. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Pitbull Cruz, Chris Colbert. Like, get that out of here. Like, I don't want to hear fights like that when you're talking about Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is supposed to be elite. I don't want to hear about Pitbull Cruz versus Gervonta Davis. That's crap. Frank Martin versus Shakur Stevenson is setting the tone. I hope Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, but especially Gervonta Davis, can follow in Shakur Stevenson's footsteps. I want to see, F it. If we're going to see Shakur fight Frank, it's only right that we see Gervonta fight Devin Haney. Don't y'all agree? Devin Haney versus Gervonta. And I mean next. What are we waiting for? I don't know. But we're not going to see that next. Mark my words, we're not going to see that next. Gervonta will probably fight the rematch with Pitbull Cruz, and Devin Haney will probably fight. I don't even know. Is he gonna fight Regis? Probably not. I don't know what Devin gonna do. He might cherry pick into an even easier opponent. Devin Haney, I'm not even interested right now. He not even looking for the smoke for real. You gotta just peep which fighters are looking for the smoke, and Devin Haney is not one of those fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because, like, Devin Haney, I used to be a huge fan of Devin Haney, but Devin Haney, he too arrogant, man, and he don't he really don't be looking for the action like all these other fighters do. Like, you gotta peep. Like, Devin Haney, he's soft with it. He's soft. He's soft with it. Gervonta Davis, man, he the biggest cherry picker in the 135-pound division. I know a lot of y'all love Gervonta Davis out there, but he the biggest cherry picker in the lightweight division. There's no question about it. I don't know why Gervonta Davis feel like he could just cherry pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But that's what they be on, man. You know, they just be on trying to get the easiest possible. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't respect that type of mentality at all. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what we get from Gervonta Davis. But I'm telling y'all, now we got to figure out, now that the Shakur Stevenson Frank Martin fight is unfolding and it's official. Now the next question is the location. Where are they gonna have this fight? Like, we know Shakur Stevenson is gonna be the A side over Frank Martin. So, but my question is, where's the fight gonna be located? I don't think they're gonna make it a home coming for Shakur, because Frank Martin's still a big enough name and a big enough draw that they might make it a neutral site. Y'all know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're going to have a fight in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center again, like where he had his last fight against Yoshino. I just don't think that's where it's going to be at. I think they probably going to have a fight. My first guess is going to be Las Vegas. I mean, you think Frank, you think Shakur, I think big fight. I'm thinking it's a PBC versus a top-ranked fighter. So I don't know if it's going to be a top-ranked show or a PBC show, but based on how things have been going in the past, it sounds like it would probably be a PBC show, but you never know. Like, but that being said, Las Vegas is a good venue. I think they could sell it in New York. California. I mean, it's a lot of options. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of options, but I hope they do this. It's a top ranked show because I don't know if y'all peep. Top ranked shows be a lot more affordable than the PBC shows. So that's just go with the promotions and stuff. You know, Al Heyman just be taxing on his tickets. That's all it be. But however it go, man, that's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait. Shakur Stevenson, man, the talking is over. Y'all finna see with y'all own eyes what he could do against a great talent. You know what I'm saying? And this, I just want y'all to understand that Frank Martin is better than Ryan Garcia. So if Shakur gets this win over Frank, Shakur done been in the ring with Jamal Herring, Oscar Valdez, Frank. You can't say that his resume not better than Tank's. Tank ain't really been in the ring with nobody of the magnitudes. I'm trying to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mario Barrios, Pitbull Cruz, Ryan Garcia, Roland Romero. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Leo Santa Cruz, he was small. He was real small, y'all. And that's just the honest truth about it. So yeah, man, those are the reactions of the fights, man. Jared Anderson, he made a statement yesterday. Fifth round knockout. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he makes a step up in his next fight. Derek Chisora, I'm calling for that fight. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that sounds like a good fight to me. You got Shakur versus Frank Martin. You got the Alexander Usyk and the Dubois scandal. Should the rematch happen? You know what I'm saying? I went live. I gotta go. Rocking with y'all. Peace.